kay Congressman Bolet. Ang concern lang namin, sana mapagbigyan din natin siyang makapagpaliwanag muna sa Senate. Baka kasi pagalitan din tayo. But anyway, we're just treading on... anyway, please go ahead.
Sige, sir, sabihin.
Balikan po natin yung press briefing na gaganap sa grupo po ng prosecution. But at this point, Kathy?
Kasama po natin Senator Judge Jinggoy Estrada. Magandang gabi po, sir.
Magandang gabi naman sa inyo at sa lahat ng nanonood at nakikinig.
Sir, marami po ang mga nangyari ngayon, ang mga eksplosibong impormasyon. Ano po sa tingin nyo? Ano ang assessment nyo?
Well, yung bagong revelation nga ni Annabel Chongson na meron ngang lumapit sa kanya, na nagngangalan Congressman Jorge Banal, Bolet Banal, na humihingi yata or meron yatang hinihingi na tulong kay Annabel Chongson. At kanina nga ay napakinggan namin si Congressman Banal na sinabi meron yatang nakitang isang envelope naman doon naman sa may garahe nila sa kanilang tahanan.
Ano po?
Pero we were not given the chance to ask questions because of the lateness of the hour. Siguro sa Monday, we will know if he is really telling the truth or not.
Kapanipaliwala po ba itong mga sinalaysay niya?
Well, meron lang akong observation kasi. Nung January 31, nag-file ang prosecution ng subpoena, no? Request for subpoena doon sa STECOM, the documents of the PS Bank in relation to the accounts of Chief Justice Corona. That was on January 31 of 2012. And incidentally, that was the day that Congressman Banal and Ms. Chongson met inside the bank. And on February 2 or February 3, another supplemental request for subpoena was filed before the clerk of court. And on that day, it was on that day when Congressman Umali divulged to the public that a small lady handed him an envelope.
Okay, mukhang i-expect natin, Sen, sasagutin nila galing sa iyo yan sa darating na Lunes.
Ewan ko kung masasagot na yun. Because that's on record.
Okay. Sen, ito pag-usapan po natin yung mga revelation na merong mukhang a little over 24 million na peso account and withdrawn pa on the day the impeachment or he was impeached. Ano sa tingin yung relevance nitong
Well, for me, that
information?
was quite suspicious. Because according to Congressman Tupas, that was the day when the Chief Justice was impeached. No, but ang relevance nun, sa akin walang relevance dahil unang-una, hindi niya pwede itiklara sa SAL yun, sa SAL niya. Dahil 2011, dapat sa itong year lang niya dapat ilagay sa SAL niya. Eh, ngayon, wala na. So, I don't think that is
Just a follow-up, Senator.
relevant.
Pero that's information released to the Senator judges. Anong epekto nun, persuasion-wise, sa inyo po?
Well, for me, it is not included in the charge sheet kasi hindi covered yung year na yun.
Senator Estrada, kahapon po ay kinwestiyon nyo itong witness na si Annabel Chongson tungkol dun sa pagkakakilala niya kay Congressman Tupas. Ano po ba yung nalalaman ninyo?
Well, ang alam ko, siya ay tiga Iloilo. Si Congressman Tupas din ay representante ng Kilaman Distrito yata ng Iloilo. At meron silang relationship. Yung pamilya ni Chongson, ni Annabel Buenaflor Chongson at yung pamilya ni Congressman Tupas dahil they are political allies in the province of Iloilo. Because the first cousin of Annabel, who is Obet Buenaflor Armada, was the vice governor of Governor Tupas Sr. And they both won in 2004. And when the term of Governor Tupas Sr. expired in 2010, the son of Governor Tupas Sr., or the brother of Neil Tupas Jr. ran for governor, and he also had Obet Buenaflor Armada as his running mate for vice governor.
Sir, ang pinupunto po ba dito na posibleng yung Iloilo connection caused the release of the information?
Well, hindi ko naman sinasabi yan. Basta ang sinasabi ko, merong relasyon yan. Merong imposibleng hindi kilala ni Annabel yung kahit isang miyembro ng Tupas family.
Sen, until these informations were released ngayon, parang ang impression ng mga taong bayan, mukhang napofocus na tayo dun sa attachment, the legality of the attachment. Sa tingin niyo po ba, hindi ba tayo na-distract dun sa usapin?
Hindi naman, dahil alam mo, pagka sa aking paniniwala, kasi hindi naman ako abogado talaga, no? Pagka illegal ang presenta mo sa husgado, that is inadmissible in court. Dahil how did you obtain it? Kasi maliwanag sa 1405 na bawal yan, bawal kumuha ng dokumento galing sa bangko na i-share mo, i-divulge mo information ng kliyente mo, ng depositor for that matter, sa publiko. Bawal yun. So how did that occur? How did that appear in the hands of the members of the prosecution?
Senator Estrada, nung isang araw po ay nag-file ng supplemental petition before the Supreme Court. Ito nga si Chief Justice Corona regarding the partiality umano of 5 senator judges. Ano pong reaksyon nyo dito?
Well, that is addressed to the 5 senators concerned, and that is their call. That is their personal decision.
Sen, itong pagrespeto ninyo sa TRO comes with a condition na hindi nyo gine-give up yung authority ng Senate sitting as an impeachment.
Of course not.
Anong posisyon nyo dito, Sen?
Itong TRO, kaya nga tinawag na temporary restraining order. Temporary lang yan, pansamantala lang yan. Pwede pa namin ipaglaban sa Korte Suprema, yan. Ang magdi-defend ng kaso ng Senado ay ang Solicitor General. So that is only temporary.
Senator Estrada, ngayong araw po, February 16, nakakaisang buwan na po tayo dito sa paglilitis.
Yes,
Ano po ang masasabi nyo tungkol dito sa naging takbo ng trial so far?
Well, medyo nababagalan ako dahil out of 8 articles, isang article pa lang, isang buwan na. So, kung ipupursu nila yung 8 articles, baka maabot pa ng 8 buwan mahigit. But I've heard news and information coming from the prosecution panel that they are going to trim it down. Siguro hindi na tatalakayin yung mga ibang articles of impeachment. So, better for us. So, we can concentrate on our work as legislators.
Concentrate on our work as legislators. Yung nga po, nagagawa pa po ba? Is it still business as usual,
Siyempre,
Senator?
I will not be a hypocrite to tell you that naapektuhan kami. Naapektuhan yung aming trabaho bilang mga mambabatas. Dahil siyempre, maraming mga bills na pending. But we still hold sessions in the morning. Kahit 4 na araw, sunod-sunod itong impeachment trial, meron naman kami session na umaga, Tuesday and Wednesday.
Nakikita nga po ng media yan na talagang nagdo-double time sa umaga yung mga senador.
It's very stressful on our part and very taxing. Siyempre, lalong-lalo na dun sa may mga edad na.
Last weekend, meron din mahalagang development at hindi pa natin natatanong si Senator Estrada tungkol dito. Tungkol po dun sa press briefing na isinagawa nitong depensa. Ano pong masasabi nyo dun sa mga sinabi nila?
I think that is unfair to all of the senator judges. Imagine, sasabihin ng defense na merong mga gustong mag-alok o nag-aalok ng 100 milyon para sa mga soft projects ng bawat senador. I think that is unfair. That is uncalled for. At nung ako'y nagsalita nung Lunes ng hapon, I was suggesting, I was telling them to name their own source. Kung sino talaga nagsasabi na merong nag-alok. At saka, syempre, lahat kami suspect. Alam mo? Kaya, syempre, the integrity and honor of the Senate as an institution or the Senate sitting as an impeachment court, that is at stake here.
I just can't help but ask this last question, Senator. Dumaan yung pamilya nyo dun sa impeachment process in the past. Are you satisfied by yung pag-handle ng ating Senate President ngayon at yung mga kasamahan nyo din dito sa buong impeachment?
It's incomparable between the handling of Senate President Enrile and the handling of Chief Justice Davide before. Malayo ang diferensya. Ngayon may order. Dati walang order. Dati kahit wala sa charge sheet, ina-accept nila. Pinapakinggan, pumapayag yung si Davide. Makikita mo talaga yung partiality niya, yung biasness niya. At dati, yung mga senador, sila nagdidebatehan. Dito, wala kayong makikitang ganon. Because we respect each other.
Okay.
May order sa amin.
At may mga caucuses pa
May
na para
caucus na.
pag-usapan.
Sila, wala naman silang caucus ng araw.
Okay,
Saka malayong-malayo si Davide kay Senate President Enrile.
Okay, coming from Senator Jinggoy. Thank you very much, Senator.
Okay, salamat po.
And advance happy birthday po, sir.
Thank you, thank you.
Okay, Cathy, balikan natin sa press briefing room ang kaganapan.
Speak of yung withdraw yung sinara ng December 12.
Well, kagaya ng sinabi nga ni Kong Miro, it is a sign of if flight is a sign of guilt, then I think he knew for a fact that the impeachment was already there on the day itself. It was being spoken about on radio, and I think he had to move.
Ang ibig sabihin, marami siyang pang-Christmas shopping. It could mean so many things. No, it's hard to speculate. It could be he was preparing for the impeachment. Maraming posibilidad.
May tawag kami dun sa probinsya pag ganyan, ang tawag dun paglilimas eh. 'Di ba? Kapag may parating na bagyo o yun ang tawag namin doon.
Di ba ano yun, sir, sa yung bangko? Hindi ba magtataka yung bangko pag gano'n? Kasi di ba
Ang AMLA is pag magdideposito, hindi sa pag-withdraw. But obviously, withdrawing 35, 30 or 36 million in one single day on the day of the impeachment itself raises a lot of questions.
Nagbabalik po tayo at kasama natin si Congressman Umali ulit.
Welcome back, sir.
Congressman,
Oy.
salamat. Thanks for coming back.
Siyempre, kayo pa. Alam mo, kanina, suki na ako ng NBN dahil kanina umaga nasa studio ko. Yung ano yan, Good Morning Show.
Yes.
Okay. Kaya it's so nice to start and end your day.
Congressman, ang sabi niyo po, binigay sa inyo ni Small Lady yung informasyon. Sinasabi ni Congressman Banal ngayon, iniwan sa kanyang driveway. Normal po ba itong nagaganap na binibigyan ng impormasyon from anonymous sources, yung mga congressman?
Alam, yun, sa totoo lang, whether it is information or what, madami kami natatanggap na ganyan. Ano, ito lang,